Hey guys, it's Darren here from Fantasy Points, week number 5. Um, Missed doing the video last week. I had no power for 5 days due to a little thing called a hurricane. So that was a little annoying. If you guys follow me in the chat, I posted some pictures, craziness. I was running the Panera to build my actual lineups to get internet. I had no internet here, no power. Um, Like missed me have water and the weather wasn't too hot and toilets flushed and all that kind of good stuff. So that's a plus. Um, a lot better off than a lot of people, but ready and excited. Studying like crazy all week. I missed looking up all my stuff that I normally do, and think I've got a pretty good GPP handle on this week. So we'll go ahead and I'll share some of my things I'm going to be doing this week. All right. So we're going to keep with the 40 lineup MO. If anybody has any other preference, I'm typically 150 plus lineup maker. So um, but I think a lot of you do 40. I'll stick with that for right now. We'll go ahead and for now, we'll pair the quarterback with the receiver, flex position, running back and receiver this week. Okay. So let's go over to player settings and we'll start with the quarterback. And what I like to do is I like to sort by value to kind of see, who's popping. And I updated the ownership yesterday. And Tom Brady's popping for a ton of people here. He's going to be typically you don't see that high on the slate as far as quarterbacks go, but he's pretty high this week. So for GPP, I will be excluding Mr. Tom Brady. The guys I do like this week is Mr. Jacoby Purset. I see 1% ownership. Now, will he end up one? Probably not. But you know, look at this percentage. Um, Nice price, and he's got some nice run back options. So what I'm going to do, just to share, I'm going to go ahead and boost him up a little bit here. And then over here, you can do the exposure. So I'm going to want at least, for me, maybe 35% of the lineups, and then no more than, let's say, 40% exposure as far as that goes. That's one of the quarterbacks I'll be using this week. And then where are you? And I'm gonna, Josh Allen does show super expensive. I'm back and forth. I think I'm gonna use some. There are some pretty good values this week. And where is Zach Wilson? Okay, and Zach Wilson's the other one. Miami's actually dead last against quarterbacks this year. They have faced some monsters though, as far as the quarterbacks go. Miami has Palmer, Josh Allen, um, and also um, Baltimore quarterback. So we're going to go ahead and boost him up. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but he shows low ownership. I'm going to want at least 25%, and then probably no more than 30. So these are the two guys I'm kind of really focused on this now. I'm going to build a couple lineups as far as that goes. So we'll go back to the optimize, and we'll go to the custom stacks, modify, and we'll hit stack number 1. And this first one, I'll do 25%, and then choose a player, drop this down, and we'll start with Zach Wilson. And Garrett Wilson is one of my favorites here. I'm pretty sure Tyreek's going to play. He's got that thigh issue, a little bit annoying. But I do like pairing with him. And then also I like pairing with Tyler Conklin here. Not going to play the Miami defense with a stack. Oops, here comes the Dolphins. There we go. Breece Hall catches so many passes. I don't mind. So I'm going to kind of keep him as an option if it ends up as a full stack. It does. So that's one here. And oh, let me go back in. Should have hit another stack. Stack number 2. And we'll do Jacoby Purset and Joku, Cooper. And then we'll also do Austin Eckler. I like this stack quite a bit. Obviously not going to use a Chargers D. And if you're using Jacoby, I'm not going to want to Chubb in that lineup. He doesn't catch enough passes. That's what Hunt's for. So I like this stack quite a bit, actually. When the stream was going on, I actually sent this over to Graham, and he announced it on here. So this is one lineup I'll be having a ton of and just sharing it with you all. What we'll do is I think there's a couple other things I want to show you, which is kind of cool. So I'll do 20. This is Derrick Henry. He's the last 2 weeks he caught 5 passes, 5 targets the last 2 weeks in a row. He's Derrick Henry. Washington stinks, but Washington has Curtis Samuel. Now we don't have Dotson this week, and he's been seeing a ton of targets already. Tennessee has not been very good against the receivers. I personally think that Terry McLaurin is going to get bracketed. So I think it's going to leave. Samuel open. So if I do this, I think it might be a little hard to get Samuel and McLaurin in a stack to get both of them. So I just don't mind the one, but that's one that you guys can actually do with certain running backs and pairings as far as that goes. So this is another little stack that I like, mini stacks if you want to call it like that. Who else can we mini stack? Let's see, stack number 4. This one isn't bad too. With so many people on Brady, I know Fournette's going to be pretty popular also. I know people are a little scared of Rachaad White, but in my opinion, I watched that whole game. A lot of game script came into that, I feel. So I'm just going to go the other way. And I like actually pairing Leonard Fournette with Drake London this week. There's no Kyle Pitts, so he's going to get just a ton of volume. So I think this is a nice little mini stack as far as that goes. And then if I'm going to do Fournette stack like that, I'd do it without Brady. I think I've already X'd Brady out. So I probably wouldn't do Fournette and Evans, because if he's scoring all the touchdowns, Evans may not be. So I don't mind doing that as far as that goes too. Godwin, I don't know. I know he's supposed to be healthy, and I know Scott likes him a lot. I don't know. I'm just not going to have any of them this week, especially if he's going to be popular. He's been hurt so much. Comes right back to bite me. Oh well, that's why I'm a GPP player. I'm trying to avoid some of the chalk as far as that goes. I do like Evans quite a bit, as also mentioned in the show. But this is another, just trying to get you guys to start thinking about these type of things where you compare some of these running backs here with run backs. You don't have to do it with every single running back, just the ones that make sense, and with players who will be playing catch up, for instance. So we're assuming Atlanta's going to be throwing. I think at Tampa Bay's 14-point favorites. So we're assuming they'll be throwing it back a lot. All right, here I'm not going to worry about exposure. Actually, there we are. Sorry, this one we are. So what we'll do here, we'll customize by position. Don't want more than, let's say, 40% quarterback. These aren't set in stone, guys. I'm just throwing it in here. No more 55% running back, 55% receiver. And maybe we'll go like, I don't know, 40 tight end and like 45 defense. How's that? Put that in here. All right. And then the max flex exposure. Nothing set in stone. There are some decent running backs and I typically like receiver, so I'm actually going to go receiver a little bit more. That's how I usually do it. So we'll go to like 40. Come on. There we go. All right. Well, let's run it. Let's see what it pops out for us. And since I set some rules, we talked about it before, we do have the little countdown clock. The more things you ask it for, the longer it does take. I do want some music on this next time. Gotta think of some. Somebody got any suggestions? I think Jeopardy's too easy. The countdown for Jeopardy is just a very common one that's used. But I don't know, something kind of funny, something as far as that goes. Let's see what pops out. All right, here we go. Interesting. Spitting out Trevor Lawrence. Shows the top based on that. That's not one of my stacks, though. You can see Purset's here. Peoples Jones is here. That's not one of the stacks I made, though. Let's see if we can find some of the stacks I made. Purset. See if we can find it. Let me go to the end. Here we go. There's Purset, Eckler, Njoku here. Look at Zach Wilson. There's Wilson. There's Garrett Wilson. Wilson, and Tyreek Hill. Another stack that we made here. And let's look at Derrick Henry. There's Henry. Where's looking for Curtis Samuel? There he is. So Derrick Henry, Curtis Samuel. Another one in there as far as that goes. And there's the all the way across to the 40 lineups. All right. So, like I said, it's kind of nice in here, showing everything in here as far as how much percentage you have of the players, as far as that goes. So that's really nice to see in their projections. But yeah, so I think we're gonna have some really fun games to watch this week, and I would definitely get on the site and read and listen to everything when there's data. It just helps so much. Last year, week 5 was kind of like my breakout. Just everything kind of clicked for me, and that's why I'm able to do this and just love doing it. I'm always in the chat, and it is only going into week 5. If you haven't joined Fantasy Points, guys, there's still a discount code that you can use my name, Darren, Darren 22. Optimizer is only $50 to get, and for the value that you get, and that's for the whole year. You're not paying that a month. I mean, for the entire year, there's optimizers out there that cost over $100 a month. So for what you get, and you get John Hanson's projections on this, it's just, for me, it's a no-brainer. So I'll be in the chat per usual over the weekend. So you got questions, definitely reach out. I'll try and help you with those. Okay. All right, everybody. I'll good luck on your lineups, and I'll be back for week 6 optimizer with Fantasy Points.